I heard you got engaged this spring.
Yes, I got engaged this spring.
Really? Who's the lucky person?
Actually in January.
Oh, excuse me. Who's the lucky person?
Jim Bagley.
Every so often you find love in the workplace. We have that situation, and it's on steroids in Griffin Nation. 5 couples, 4 of them married, 1 of them engaged to be married, all part of the Missouri Western Athletic Department. Let's meet them.
Tom Smith, ex-basketball coach, new women's tennis coach.
Patsy Smith, Senior Associate Athletic Director and Senior Woman Administrator.
Married July 24th, 1998.
Greg Carbon, Strength and Conditioning.
Marion Carbon, Head Volleyball Coach.
And we were married June 14th, 2008.
Trevor Berniking, Director of Athletic Media Relations.
Mandy Berniking, the Assistant Softball Coach.
Married June 11th, 2011.
Reggie Trotter, Defensive Coordinator.
Jen Trotter, Head Softball Coach.
We were married December 31st, 2012.
Aaron Coombs, Men's Basketball Assistant.
Signe Mueller, Assistant Volleyball.
And we're getting married July 27th, 2014.
Well, now that we know who's married to who and who's going to be married to who, we'll get all 10 of you together now and talk relationships. And let's get something very clear first. There is no nepotism because none of you guys answer to the other. In fact, actually there might be one exception to that. Patsy Smith, you're the Associate AD, so I think we all technically answer to you, including your husband.
She's not my boss. Anywhere, any place.
Let's go there. Let's pull off the scabs. Let's say you had a big fight at home and you come to work and you got to see your spouse at work, so there's no cooling off time. How do you guys handle that?
Well, Mandy and I are lucky because we're in separate buildings. Now, Jen and Reggie, they're right down the hall from
Right
each
down the
other.
hall, but I can also choose not to see each other.
We've been together almost 2 years and we've never had a fight.
Good
Gasp.
for you. Lucky you.
Wow.
Lucky you.
Very maid-centered.
Again, the only unmarried couple in the group.
Everyone says this, but you know.
We'll revisit that once the marriage takes place and the honeymoon ends.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it, the follow-up.
All right, show of hands. How many of you are exactly alike? No one. All right, I guess it's true. Opposites do attract. Give me some examples.
Reggie doesn't like to camp. I grew up knowing how to put a pack in a tree because of bears, so a little different.
If I want to see a bear, I'll go to the zoo. That's not me.
Who has the dominant personality in the relationship? Of course.
She's
What am I? What? He's much better at just saying okay and letting stuff go, whereas I tend to try to win.
For me, it's one of those things where she wants to disagree with me. I'm fine with that because
Which is
you know it's like
which is so maddening.
and that's just the way it's gonna be.
It's harder for me though because my argument is very analytical and logical, and so when he doesn't understand it,
But
then it's very frustrating.
Here's the thing.
that you can't
Here's the
get
thing.
it.
So what I do,
Hey, it sounds
when
like
we
Greg
get
and
to
I
that
are in the
point,
same spot.
I ask her, I was like, "You want to fight?" And she says, "No." So I'm right. She doesn't want to fight. If you don't want to fight, then I'm right.
Mandy, I don't see you ever losing an argument with Trevor.
I guess I like to have control. I'm a controlling personality, I'll just be honest with
Everybody agree with that?
I do.
And since all of you here are either coaches or married to a coach, how do you deal with a spouse after they lost?
There were times when I just listened. There were times when I had to yell at him because the attitude he was coming from just wasn't going to cut it.
There were distinctly 2 years that I was ready to, not throw in the towel, but I was really down on my group and did not think we were going to have a particularly great year. And 1 year we came back and went 16-2 in the league and won the league, and obviously went to, and it was one that she had gotten mad at me and jumped me about the players and how good they were and everything else. And thank goodness she did.
If it's make her a cup of green tea or a massager or something, whatever it is,
Again, you can tell who's not married. Trevor, do you do green tea and massage for Mandy after a softball toss?
No.
I run
No.
the other way.
All right, what's the one thing that drives you the craziest about your spouse?
Time management.
Lack of initiative.
End of our bed, I have this chest that was my mother's, and he calls it his closet. All of his clothes are laying on it all the time. I'm like, okay, nothing's getting washed unless it's in the laundry, and he doesn't care. He just would let it pile up forever. I can't see the TV over the top of the clothes.
Where it belongs. I can't.
We're the most competitive when we're competing against each other. You know, so on one of our very first dates, we went to Buffalo Wild Wings and played trivia.
And I won. Just for the record.
Set the tone. She did. She set the tone. But
So she's smarter than you.
Yes.
no, because I got the better grade in our grad class last semester.
I helped him through that.
You know, but we let the other person know, you know, that, hey, I won.
I'm gonna go
How
back.
you
I'm gonna go
compete?
back to what my wife said. Time management. I have time management. Now
It's on your own time.
yeah. There's no question on my time for sure. Now my time and her time different. Now, fortunately enough for me, I received a watch for my anniversary this year,
I thought it was an appropriate gift.
and so now it's not on.
Let's bring this back to the warm fuzzies. Tell me when you knew they were the one. Go.
When Mandy jumped through hoops to get to my brother's wedding.
It was one of the first times we were hanging out with the kids, and the kids liked it.
Sitting in the stands and watching him with his players and seeing him put his arm around them and them put their arm around him and the interaction between them, just, it got me.
First time we went out with a mutual friend, and I sat directly across from her, and there happened to be a TV right behind her, and I kept staring at her, 'cause I was like, she's so beautiful, and every time she looked my way, I'd look up at the TV, you know, just but you know, she was always so easy to talk to.
Greg and Marion, you guys are unique in the fact that everybody here met at work, but you guys met when you were both student athletes at Missouri Western, and you were set up by your friends. Greg, it took you a year to make a move after you knew she liked you.
I found her in a cafeteria one day.
It's really embarrassing.
It was, yeah.
It's like a really awkward, like, reconnect, but
Yeah.
And you were just like, I heard you like me, here's my number.
You know what? I don't even know what I said, but I don't know.
I think he just asked for my number or something.
So it was a junior high move.
Yeah, it
Oh,
totally
yeah.
was.
Oh, yeah,
As
no
sophomores in college. It was really awkward.
You guys obviously wouldn't be together if it weren't for this place. What does Missouri Western mean to all of you?
As I look back, two things. I was fortunate to stay and I have a lot of great teams, and I wouldn't have met Patsy if I hadn't stayed here. And that's probably the best thing that's ever happened to me.
It'd be very difficult to leave here and to have something different for the two of us because we're able to spend so much time together.
For me, Western will always be the place that gave me my first shot to be a head coach. It'll always be the place that I met my husband. And it'll always be the place that I now have a husband and a family and a head coaching job. So it'll always be special to me for that reason.
My wedding ring is actually black and gold. And, you know, Missouri Western played a part in the reason why God chose this school for the both of us.